Welcome to Clinically Speaking, the podcast that combines clinical insight with the chaos of reality TV, because someone has to diagnose this drama.
For legal purposes, this is a joke. We would never diagnose someone who is not our client.
I'm Callie.
And I'm Alex.
We're licensed marriage and family therapists here to review the finale and reunion episodes of Love Island USA Season 7.
Well. Look at all the non-believers now. Let's look at who's the only couple remaining from the Final Four. NicOlandria Nation, we are truly winning.
Seriously, I love them so much. I've been keeping up on all of their posts and campaigns, and I have to admit I did get influenced by those Agua de Kefir ads.
Honestly, everything they're selling, I'm buying. Did you see Olandria at the VMAs?
Stunning.
We need a Barbie movie remake with our Bama Barbie immediately.
And
I know we haven't talked about this yet, but what has been your favorite NicOlandria moments, like inside and outside of the villa?
Oh my gosh. Well, one of the highlights for me was watching their TikTok live right after they left the villa. I know you watched it too. And she was like lounging on top of him, and they just seemed so comfortable with each other. And you can see how they respect and admire each other, all while being so cute and flirty.
I was living for the post-villa content. Hearing those little liars say that they, in fact, did like their soul ties kiss. Like, please, we have eyes. We saw and we knew the truth.
Absolutely. And I love how you can see that chemistry in literally everything we've seen from them outside the villa. Those eyes are twinkling every single time they look at each other, and it's so cute.
In one of the videos, too, Nick saying that he liked her jacket and then saying, "Don't ask me the color of anything." And also Nick saying something completely out of pocket, then having to pan to the camera to specifically apologize to Felicia gets me every time.
It's so funny. Wait, and also when he called her his shy girl, it was so cute, like even on its own, but I also loved how he was being protective of her in that moment too.
Yeah, speaking of being protective, we have to talk about the Cordell and Serena link up. That made my entire life. Serena is honestly such a Virgo queen. Like, I know that she's going to make sure that our girl Landria is treated right. And honestly, on a more serious note, after everything she's been through this season, I'm so happy to see this because this is the type of friendship she deserves.
Yes, and that is the tea. All right, should we get into some of our other Final Four couples?
Yeah. I mean, I guess while we're talking about friendship, it feels important to note that maybe friendship isn't the foundation for every relationship, right, Pepe?
You know, though, I was not really surprised because, yes, they were friends, but we never really saw them talk about anything of substance on the show, including that finale date. And then when I saw his TikTok about, now I'm taking 4 days instead of 3 to fall in love with somebody, I was like, ooh, that seems like a red flag to me. And then look what happened.
True. And you know what else only took 4 days? The rekindling of Iris and TJ.
I think that is so funny. And when TJ posted that TikTok after Iris and Pepe were rumored to have broken up, the one was like, you know,
Yeah.
I died. It was gold. Honestly, I do like them together. I think they're cute.
I could totally tell that TJ was holding a torch for our girl Iris at the reunion. That man was pining and yearning better than most lesbians I know.
So funny. Honestly, very few people at the reunion actually had that little glimmer of romance in their eyes.
Yeah, I am sad to say that Brian and Amaya did not give off the vibes that they were feeling each other anymore at the reunion, which is so sad because I thought that Mumu put our boy under a spell, but clearly I was wrong.
Yeah, and their finale date was so sweet and romantic, but clearly the realities of commitment were just not feasible for them. Speaking of finale dates, though, my favorite may have been Huda and Chris. Because that was one of the funniest things I've seen on TV in a while. When that poor singer came out in the middle of their breakup.
You gotta admit, though, it was kind of a cinematic masterpiece.
So funny. However, there are some things in this dynamic that were actually very serious, and as licensed therapists, we feel a responsibility to touch on a few of them. I know in some of our previous episodes we said that we might do a deep dive on Huda's relationships, but we decided that would just be too much, so we're just going to outline a few key themes now.
Yeah, we were thinking it could be helpful to compare Amaya and Huda because they're both highly emotionally expressive and can use some pretty ineffective communication strategies in conversations with other people.
Mm-hmm. But there is a major difference that we see in their communication patterns, and that is the role of control.
Yeah, we can see Amaya's communication challenges in terms of her not having the best tools in her toolbox because we can see that she feels bad after she communicates in a way that's ineffective.
Mm-hmm. And in contrast, we see Huda's communication patterns as having a pervasive underlying theme of control. Two examples of that are when Huda tried to prevent Jeremiah from talking to other people about their relationship, and then the incident in bed with Chris during the finale.
Yeah, and we think it moves away from ineffective communication into something else when it becomes a pervasive pattern and the person is unwilling to change or acknowledge the impact of their behavior.
So that's why it's important to not write off this controlling behavior as just reality TV drama, because this pattern can become extremely dangerous.
Yeah, and I wanted to note that when we talk about people not having the tools in their toolbox, people can learn ineffective communication through a variety of situations, whether it's modeling from their home environment or some type of trauma history or cultural differences. But the most important thing for us is that when people are aware of the impact on others, they should be interested in changing.
Yes.
You know, we don't want to be a chrysalis forever. We want to grow and develop into the beautiful butterfly that we were always meant to be. And I think we can see this best demonstrated with our girl Leah in season 6.
We definitely saw Leah get escalated and use some hurtful communication throughout her season. But once she saw those clips of herself, she showed authentic remorse. You could see it in her facial expressions that she regretted the way she acted and felt badly for hurting the people around her.
Yeah, this is actually the perfect segue into our next topic. We did want to touch on good apologies, which is something we did not see on the reunion.
Yeah, for the record, I'm sorry you misinterpreted what I said is not an apology.
And that was directed at mostly everyone at the reunion.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Mm-hmm. And also, I think that's what's most salient about Leah's apology. For us, she gave a genuine apology. She acknowledged the harm and the impact on Rob and other people while expressing genuine remorse.
And she made efforts to change her behavior in the villa as well as engage in therapy back home. And as a result, we see that over the past year, she has developed really beautiful, respectful, loving relationships with not only Miguel, but Serena and Janae as well.
Yeah, she demonstrated such a brave willingness to confront herself, which allowed her to strengthen and deepen those relationships in her life. And obviously, she demonstrated the biggest component of a good apology, which is good old sustained change behavior.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, changing behavior is also the most forgotten component of an apology.
And in comparison, as we saw at the reunion when Huda is shown clips of herself behaving in ways that are harmful to other people, we saw her laughing.
And that just goes to show what we know as therapists, which is a month is really not long enough to create new sustained behavior patterns.
And if it was, we would be unemployed.
All right, now it's time for...
Drumroll, please.
Gay thoughts, straight thoughts.
My first gay thought is bring back men wearing shirts. Why did half of them not wear shirts under their suit? It's not even like a gay opinion. I just don't think that aesthetically speaking, it looks good.
And in response to that, I must say, my straight thought is, yes, maybe Charlie should have worn a real shirt. But oh my god, that man looked so good at the reunion.
Yes, he did need to wear a shirt, though.
All right, Alex, what's your second gay thought?
My second gay thought is, Shelley, I'm having a That's So Raven premonition for you. And that is, you need to be living your best gay life with the women of your dreams. And what is your final straight thought, Callie?
My final straight thought is more of a straight confession, which is that I've got to be honest, I didn't really care about Love Island for the month of August because there was just too much else going on in my world, such as Taylor Swift announced a new album and got engaged. I got to see the Jonas Brothers and Jesse McCartney live together. Best night of my life. And Sabrina Carpenter dropped a new album. So I had a lot going on in my little straight world. Love Island wasn't a priority.
We didn't even watch Love Island Beyond the Villa, so
I know, we need to catch up. All right, if you guys have any questions or suggestions, you can email us at clinicallyspeakingpod@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram or TikTok at clinicallyspeakingpod.
We hope you enjoy listening as much as we enjoy making these episodes.
Thanks for listening, and stay tuned.
As you all know, helping professionals are not raking in the big bucks, so please make sure to subscribe to Clinically Speaking in your podcast app, and make sure to follow us at Clinically Speaking Pod on TikTok and Instagram.
This is an opportunity to discuss theoretical topics, but as always, we are not diagnosing any individuals, nor are we providing clinical treatment or recommendations. We are discussing our opinions that happen to be informed by a clinical perspective, however, they are still our personal opinions. If you want to apply these concepts in your personal life, we encourage you to speak to a therapist in your area.